Alright guys, hope everyone's doing well. Going for my daily walk. Today is 20 degrees less hotter than it was a day ago. It was 100 yesterday, today is 80 degrees. But I've been doing a series of getting back to business basic fundamentals, selling basics. So I want to share another topic with you that I would like to call, that I am going to call the vehicle to growing your business and producing more sales. You see, the business is people, right? Because if you don't have people, you really don't have a business. And if you're not producing sales, you don't have a business because you can't hire people, right? So that's why I try to keep it simple, basic. There's a lot of derivatives, there's a lot of creativity, but people try to confuse things instead of making it simple. Because for me, like 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4, right? You can't change it, it's the way it is. So what I'm going to share with you today is the vehicle. What is the vehicle? Now, every business, your business, my business, no matter what level of business is, these 4 pillars, I call it pillars, equal the vehicle or the engine that drives the vehicle to growing your business. Okay? So, now, here's the deal. The deal is this. The number one thing that you should focus on, that I know I focus on, and that we intend to take it lightly, is the number one thing is getting qualified leads. That's the first pillar. You got to know who your audience is. You have to know where they're at. You have to know what makes them tick. And you have to know if your product and services is for them. Because your product and services may not be for every business, right? So you have to identify who your real target audience is, or what they call leads and prospects, right? Does that make sense? So that's number one. Once you identify who your qualified prospect is, or who your qualified prospects are, right? And wherever they may be. Now, the second thing is you have to have a really good, effective, productive, efficient selling process. Most people call it sales process. Sales, as you know, is the end result of selling. So I'm going to name it what it really is to me. It's called the selling process. For me, I have a straight line method that I've been using for over 30 years that works unbelievable. Now, there's a lot of things to the selling process, okay? But you have to understand, you have to have a good selling process to be able to be more productive, right? Now, so that's number 2, the selling process. Now, the third thing you need to have is salespeople, right? Now, here's the thing about salespeople. If you don't have good leads and you don't have a good selling process, then no matter how many salespeople you hire, you're not going to be successful as you can be. You're not going to be as productive as you can be. You're not going to produce as much sales as you should be, because salespeople need to be trained in the right selling process. Does that make sense? So, you know, and in order to do that, you got to understand selling. You got to understand, you know, strategy. You have to understand all those things. So number 3 is having the right salespeople, the right sales team, or the right selling team, because they have to do the selling before they can produce the sale. Does that make sense? So that's how I see things. Now, number 4 is this. It's the actual sales, right? Or it's the actual converting those leads into sales, right? That's the vehicle. That's the gas. That's the engine. Does that make sense? So you got to remember, you got to know how to convert leads into sales. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the qualified leads you want. I know people that buy leads by the thousands, and their contact ratio is very minuscule, and then even their conversion ratio is even worse. You know what I mean? So you got to remember, you got to know how to sell. You have to know how to close. You have to know how to use the selling process and have good salespeople and teaching them how to convert those leads into sales, right? Because at the end, if you got great leads and you have great selling process, right? And let's say you have decent to average salespeople, you're not going to produce a lot of sales if you don't know how to sell. If you don't know how to close, if you don't know how to convert those leads into sales and convert those prospects into customers, right? So those are the 4 pillars of every business. Now, that's the vehicle. That's what I call the vehicle. In other words, that's the vehicle that leads you into the second part of the pillars, which has to do with revenue, profits, return on investment, and cash flow. I'll get into that in the next video, but I'm doing a series of videos getting back to basic business and selling fundamentals, because I think if you get back to basic selling fundamentals, you're going to be able to grow your business effectively, efficiently, and more importantly, you're going to have a lot of fun doing it, right? Anyway, that's my tip for today. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for being part of the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. If you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button, share your comments, share your thoughts, and if you want to follow me, just hit the subscription button below. Till we speak again, I say goodbye. This is Paul Cruz with the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. Have a fantastic day. Bye.